Welcome. Do not forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Exclusive.
Yeah, now the federal government of Nigeria has revealed why it can't obey the court ruling ordering the release of IPOB leader, indigenous people of Biafra leader Nnamdi Kanu. Now, the federal government has insisted that Nnamdi Kanu should not be released from detention. Hmm. It could recall that the Court of Appeal in Abuja on Monday reserved judgment in an application by the federal government seeking a stay of execution of the court's order and judgment that ordered the release of the indigenous people of Biafra leader Nnamdi Kanu. However, the federal government yesterday adduced reasons it has not obeyed the judgment of the Court of Appeal that ordered the release of a leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB Nnamdi Kanu, from detention. According to Daily Post Nigeria, an assistant state counsel in the office of the Attorney General of the Federation, David Kaswe, has informed the court that the case against Kanu bordered on national security. He argued that the fundamental rights of the IPOB leader should be suspended due to the national interest. David Kaswe also asserted that if Nnamdi Kanu is released and allowed to go back to the southeast, the case of insecurity, which has been subdued, would be on the rise again. He further stressed that someone who has had the capacity to jump bail or to escape from lawful custody would do someone worse if allowed to go scot-free again. I don't know because I don't like using vulgar words. Let me reply on this. Sunday Igboho was released in Benin Republic. How many chaos, how many crimes has he committed? Now, the Boko Haram in the northern part of the country, we heard that ISWAP, International State of West African Province, subjected themselves to, I don't know, to deviation. You know, they boycotted themselves from Boko Haram. Did they stop, or didn't they stop? I don't really understand. Nnamdi Kanu, on the other hand, would have been killed in his hometown. Uh, would have been killed by people we understand and recognize as unknown gunmen carrying a known gun, or known military gun, with the military bullets in it, and unknown gunmen wearing a Nigerian military uniform. In this present administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, I've not heard that before. The military will go and invade someone's house, except if the narrative is that they just give them the uniform to disguise and to just go and kill and sabotage. So that's a saboteur. But in a nutshell, Nnamdi Kanu, what has he done? What has been his offense? Because if I'm not mistaken, last time I checked, I could remember that he was extraordinary rendered, and also kidnapped. Because Malami came out and said he was arrested, that they arrested him finally in Kenya, not even in Nigeria. So he's the one disturbing the peace of the country, by telling the Boko Haram, who understand only Fulani language and Arabic and the Hausa. Nnamdi Kanu is the Igbo counterpart. I don't believe he understands Hausa or Fulani or Arabic. But this present government, they know what they are up to. If they are optimistic, fine. Nnamdi Kanu too is rest assured that there is nothing going to happen, because if a court of law, three justice, gave verdict as to be discharged and acquitted, and the last time I checked, English word, apart from judiciary, apart from being a judge or being a lawyer, if somebody is discharged from something, that means he's free and acquitted. That means nobody should tamper with that case, because it has been forgotten, discharged and forgotten. So resuming back to that case is what baffles me after being discharged and acquitted. Oh my God. Well, according to Daily Post, an assistant state counsel in the office of the Attorney General of the Federation, David Kaswe, informed the court that the case against KANU bordered on national security. He argued also that the fundamental rights of the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB leaders should be suspended due to national interest. Okay. Now, however, the federal government yesterday adduced reasons it has not obeyed the judgment of the court of appeal that ordered the release of leader of the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB Nnamdi Kanu from detention. Now, if you have not adduced, you've not agreed, I don't know who gave them the verdict. As why are they called justice? Why are they called lawyer? Because if it was to be charge and bail lawyers, I would say assumed. But a lawyer is a lawyer, either charge and bail, representing the law, the constitution. The constitution which says that there is freedom to life, freedom of speech, freedom of association, and now they are telling us they don't agree with what the justice. And meanwhile, the justice who presided over Kanu's case, 3 of them have been transferred to where? They should allow them to stay. Because if discharged and acquitted, that means the case has been forgotten, and that the so-called defendant should be allowed to go to wherever he wants to go, to home or thereabout, free of charge. Well, according to Daily Post Nigeria, an assistant state counsel in the office of Attorney General, also David Kaswe, informed the court that the case against KANU bordered on national security. He also argued that the fundamental rights of the indigenous people of Biafra POB leader should be suspended due to national interest. Okay. David Kaswe also asserted that if Nnamdi Kanu is released and allowed to go back to the southeast, the case of insecurity which has been subdued will be on the rise again. He further stressed that someone who has had the capacity to jump bail or to escape from lawful custody would do someone worse if allowed to go scot-free again. And I believe David Kaswe, this is not a cause. If you were in that shoe of Nnamdi Kanu as of 2017 or thereabout, when you people said he jumped bail, he was at the detriment of his death. Let me put it that way, because upon all said and done, he was still at home. They still went to invade his house, killed over 28 people. Now, who is going to be accountable for that, for those killings? Kaswe, put yourself in that shoe, because someone said the truth, or rather, let's assume is was saying blasphemy propaganda against the government of Buhari. I believe it is not Buhari that is masterminding all this. I believe there are some entity that do not want the Igbo race to surface or to live. But God, in His infinite mercy, will share everybody's judgment according to your sin, according to your crime, according to your offense. Because with this antecedent, I believe I have said it earlier, there's not going to be election come 2023 because of these acts. Now they'll say you was there when it happened, you was there when this whole thing started. But as it is, we were all there. You was there, and we saw all the things that went down the drain, back and forth. Nnamdi Kanu's case has just been like Joseph in the Bible, you understand, whereby his brothers were the one that even sold him to slavery, and at the long run became prime minister or thereabout. I'm assuming, because I don't have the brain of my own, because God is the ultimate and the most paramount, Nnamdi Kanu might be the next president of the country if care is not taken. That is what it is. And because of this, the federal government of Buhari, or the federal government, this present administration, they are frustrated, because they will now tell me Nnamdi Kanu is the problem of economic meltdown. Nnamdi Kanu and Sunday Igboho are the are the brain behind the killings, the insecurity, insurgency in the northern part of the country. Well, time will not permit us to go further, and this is where I'm going to draw the curtain. I would like you to share your views in the comment section. Thanks for listening, and God bless you.